All right, so as always, feel free to grab all the stuff. So got my blocks here, we can use those later. And you can come into a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you today. And letting your palms either face down if you're feeling like grounding is a bit more needed, or maybe today you want to flip your palms up if you're feeling a bit more receptive. Invitation to allow your eyes to close if that feels safe in your body. And taking a couple grounding breaths here. And softening into whatever you might be sitting on and slowing down whatever you've done up until this point. And then take a moment to notice if you feel like you're leaning forward or leaning back. What would it feel like to more or less be neutral? And so that your shoulders stack over your hips, lightly imagining a string pulling up from the crown of your head, elongating your spine. That might cause your shoulders to drop down a little bit. And so, really finding full capacity of lengthening through your torso so that we can find full capacity in the expansion of your lungs. And take a deep breath in through your nose. And then as you exhale, sigh it out through your mouth. This time, as you inhale, imagine your breath traveling from the base of your spine up the entirety of your back body. The peak of your inhalation, you can imagine your breath at the crown of your head. And then as you exhale, imagine your breath moving down the front of your body. And at the base of your exhale, your breath resting back at the base of your spine. So we're creating this circular breath. Inhale up your back body that you might feel your torso lift a little bit, chest rise. Exhale down the front of your body as your shoulders soften, your torso softens. So a few more times through this orbital breath, inhale up through your back body. Exhale through the front body. And take 3 more here. Option to connect your palms towards your heart center. And taking a moment to connect in with your intention today or your dedication for your practice. And one more full breath in through your nose. Again, this time you might let it go with a sigh. And gently release your palms back down towards your legs. If your eyes are open, you can leave them as such. If your eyes are closed, you can start to open them. And then let's start by taking the left leg out to the side. Right heel can be close in or further out, depending on how that affects your right knee joint. And then I'm going to take one of my blocks on the highest setting and set it on the inside line of my extended left leg around my knee, but I might need to change that in just a moment. Now, we always do this like very active in our vinyasa. So again, remembering to soften, you might even give your leg a little bit of a shake. And then a couple options. I'm going to rest my forearm onto my block and then take my right arm up and overhead, bend into my elbow so that my hand comes towards the nape of my neck. Now, I want to move my block a little bit more towards my foot because I'm not quite feeling a lot going on in my right side body yet. So for you, you might want to come up higher, you might want to move further away, but we're looking to get some space in the right side body. Oftentimes in this one, we're also working to really draw that top shoulder back. Don't worry so much about that today. Letting yourself kind of sink in so that you can feel this along the whole right side, maybe down in your back, your hip, your shoulder. And take a deep breath in and out. If the block up high is more of a hindrance than a help, you can always lower your block or ditch it completely if that feels more useful for you. As gravity starts to work its way in, you might need to make adjustments, so feel free to do so as needed. We're going to take 3 more cycles here. Okay, so let's go out of this one really carefully. Start to extend your right arm first. We're going to add a little activation. Really think of lifting up and take your time and then push your left hand down to help you so that we're not putting too much strain on the side body. Then bring your torso back to neutral. Take a moment in your rebound here. One side might feel quite a bit longer than the other. Option to bring your hands down to your thighs. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. 2 more in your rebound, giving your body a moment to come back to center. And then legs will stay as they are. Option to utilize both of your blocks if you'd like. Start to fold yourself forward to any extent. Let's see, I'm going to bring my blocks to the highest height, I think, this morning. And I'm going to rest my forearms on them, letting my head get heavy. You might want to bring your blocks down a little bit lower. Maybe you don't use them at all. And take a deep breath in and out. If in the folding forward you notice your right knee is feeling very strong flexion, gently come back up. Maybe you move your right foot forward a little bit to decrease the angle. And then come back into your breath. And continue to soften through your hip points if you notice any activation. And start to move into 3 more breath cycles on this side. As you feel ready, you can start to press your palms down to the floor or your blocks, gently walking yourself back up to a tall seat. Again, hands rest down by your legs, shoulders drop away from your ears, giving your body the moment to rebound. And as you're ready, use your hands to support you as you bend into your left knee, slowly switching sides, extending your right leg long, bringing your left heel towards your sits bones, again, playing around with the angle at your joint, and then bringing a block to the inside line of your extended right leg. If the right leg's active, you might give it a little bit of a shake, a little softening. And as you're ready, you can rest your forearm down to the block. Again, that might not be interesting. Maybe you bring your hand to the floor. So whatever feels better for you. And then left arm's going to reach up and over. Hand comes to the nape of your neck. Again, don't worry about rolling back so much as dropping in to create sensation on your left side body. Big breath in and out. Maybe you bring that idea of seeing your breath move with you as you inhale, breathing up your left side. As you exhale, breathing down your right side. And take 3 more full cycles of breath here. Allow your torso to stay as it is. Start to expand your arm first, and then really think of lifting up in order to slowly come up. Turn your torso back to neutral. Let your hands rest down. And then again, notice maybe left and right sides feel a little bit more similar. Giving yourself the moment to rebound. And as you feel ready, again, option to use your blocks, start to walk yourself forward, noticing if you need to change up how that left knee is bent. And then folding down, starting to get into the hamstring a bit more, your hip. And slow breath in through your nose. And seeing if you can soften on the exhale. And breathing into those places that are really talking this morning, if those places are showing up. Allowing your body to maintain its shape as you take 3 more full breaths in. And 3 more full breaths out. At the base of your last exhalation, take your time pressing down once more, either to the floor or to your blocks. Start to eventually walk your torso back up towards an upright seat. Hands rest down, crown reaches tall. Take a breath in. And a breath out. 2 more here. And last one. Use your hands to help your extended leg to bend. Coming into butterfly, both of your feet will find each other at midline. Knees can drop out nice and wide towards blocks or the floor. And then option 2, take blocks between your feet, maybe in front of your feet or behind your feet, depending on your setup. And as you're ready, you can start to fold yourself forward. Forehead can find a block, or as always, you're welcome to take more traditional without any sort of support, just knowing that's always an option. And then letting your knees get nice and heavy, outside lines of the hips, finding some space, inner lines of your thighs. And just as we did with the one leg extended, if at any point you find that you need to take your feet further out or draw them closer in to change the flexion angle of your knee joints, please feel free to do so. You might start to come into that orbital breath again as you inhale up through your back body. And exhale, letting your breath melt down your front body. Allow your body to once more stay as it is, moving your breath through 3 more cycles.
After your third exhale, flip your palms down to the ground if they're not there already. Start to walk yourself back up slowly.
Hands can find your thighs or your knees, shoulders drop down, crown reaches up. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Twice more. And last cycle. You have your blocks, you can remove your blocks. And for the time being, set them off to the right. We'll adjust those in a moment. And then use your hands to draw your knees back into center. Soles of your feet find the floor about hip width distance. If you're on a blanket or a towel, you can slide off of that. Set that off to the side as well. Hands come down by your sides, and then heel toe your feet a little bit wider. Take a couple windshield wipers here. Gaze can stay forward, or maybe you drop your gaze to the opposite side. And then the next time your knees drop over to the left, you can let them stay there. Grab your blocks. Sorry, you can bring your blocks to the left as well. So now you have this kind of staggered variation of your legs, both of the knees dropped. Turn your torso over to the left. You've got your blocks. And you can start to bring your hands to your blocks. I'm going to turn a little bit sideways for this so that you're turning, finding extension in the side body. Or maybe you start to walk yourself down onto your blocks, finding space in that back hip. And take a deep breath in and out. Full inhale. And exhale. And take 3 more cycles on this side. And then wherever you are, start to push yourself back up. Start to roll over so that both of your feet are on the floor. Your knees are once more nice and wide. And then both of your knees can drop over to the right. Take your torso, start to turn your torso over to the right. And again, you might keep your hands on the floor or the block and keep your torso upright, or you can start to fold yourself down to any extent and feeling some space in that left side body, perhaps the left hip quite a bit.
And take another 3 cycles here. And slowly start to press down to your palms as you walk yourself back up. And then roll back over so both of your feet are on the floor. You can heel toe your feet together. Option to find your blanket again. And this time you can come to sit on your blanket, extend both of your legs long, starting to move into more activation of your body. Starting with Dandasana staff pose, draw your toes back, engage your quadriceps, palms press down to the floor. And then just as much as you press your palms up, imagine that string lifting up through the crown of your head. Draw your low abdominals in and up. Take a full breath in. And then as you exhale, gently tuck your chin towards your chest to elongate the backside of your neck. Whole body is super active. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Keep your breath moving even though your body is in relative stillness and strength. Take an inhale. And exhale. This time, as you inhale, start to lift the crown of your head so that your gaze is back to center. Exhale, soften your body so you're not in utter and complete activation. And then bend into your right leg. Option to keep the right leg on the inside line. We've been doing some outside hip work. So if you'd like, you can take your right foot to the outside line of your left leg, if that feels okay. Take your left arm around, take your right arm behind you, lift up on the inhalation. And then as you exhale, start to rotate over to the right, keeping that left leg extended and strong. Take a full breath in and out. 3 more in your rotation. And start to gently unravel yourself back to center. If your right foot's over to the left, bring it back to neutral. And today we'll simply swap sides so you can bend into your extended left leg, take your right leg nice and long. Draw your right toes back, left foot on the inside line, or you can take it to the outside line of your extended right leg. Right arm reaches around, left arm reaches behind. Inhale to find your extension. And then on your strength and your exhale, start to rotate to the left. Nice. Deep breath in. And out. Maintaining for 3 more here. Slowly start to unravel yourself back to center. Bring your left foot back over if you had it to the right. Bend into both of your knees, slide off your blanket, and then make your way all the way down onto your back. Option to have one of your blocks nearby. And then once you find yourself on your back, heel toe your feet to about hip width distance. You might need to walk them back further towards your sits bones or further towards the end of your mat. And you'll know in just a moment as we start to move into bridge. So the first option is to take a supported bridge with your block at the medium or lowest height. And you can set that block right under your sacrum and stay still for the remainder of these next few exercises. Second option is to take a more active variation of bridge. And we're going to bring the feet, the hips, the arms, and the shoulders all together. So as you're ready, press down to your feet, start to lift your hips up towards the ceiling, lift your arms up and back. Arms are always optional here. And as you exhale, slowly release your hips as your arms come back down by your sides. Nice. Inhale, press your feet down, nice and strong. Lift your hips up, arms reach back. And exhale, arms and hips back down to the floor. 3 more. Inhale. And exhale. Twice more. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, lift. Option to stay here and hold for 5, 4. Keep drawing your heels back. 3, 2, and 1. Hips find the floor, hands find the floor, and pause. Walk your feet about a footprint forward, take them as wide as your mat. Arms flip out and up, so palms are towards the ceiling, arms slightly wider, and then option to stay at neutral, or maybe this time take your windshield wipers from a reclined position. And slowly start to bring yourself back to center. Heel toe your feet in again, about hip width distance. And as you're ready, take your right leg up towards the ceiling. Slight external rotation, and then bend into your knee so your right ankle finds your left thigh for your figure 4. And then all the options. You can stay here. Left leg might hug in, left heel might extend. Working on that outside right hip a bit. Nice. Full breath in. And out. 4 more here. If your left leg is extended, release your left foot back down to the ground. Release the legs, release the arms. Take that right heel back up. Point your right toes, and then as you're ready, slowly lower your right leg all the way down to the ground. Flip your right palm so your right palm is back down onto the earth. Left hand reaches behind you, so you've got your hand underneath your neck. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, curl in, take your left elbow towards your right knee. And then inhale, extend. You can hover your foot, hover your head if that's appropriate. And then exhale, contract. Inhale, extend. Exhale, contract. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. And last one, inhale. And exhale. This time as you inhale, head to the floor, right foot to the floor. Extend both of your legs, extend your arms so you're reaching nice and tall. And then walk your feet to the lower right as you walk your arms to the upper right, taking your C curve, getting into your left side body. Full breath in through your nose. And out, allowing your shoulders to stay connected, your sits bones to stay connected. As you feel ready, start to walk yourself back to center. Spine will be neutral. However, arms will be slightly wider than your mat. Feet will be slightly wider than your mat's pentacle. Take a full breath in. Maybe you let it go with a sigh here on the breath out. once more here. Slowly start to bend into your elbows, bring your arms back down by your sides, bend into one knee, then the other, so both of your feet once more find the floor about hip width distance. This time, take your left heel up towards the ceiling. Light external rotation as you bring your left heel to your right thigh. Drop into your figure four. Again, it might look the same on this side. It might look different. So take your time. What does this side need? And then once you find your variation, we'll maintain for 5 full cycles of breath. If your right leg is lifted, start to bring your right foot back down towards the floor. As you inhale, send your left heel back up towards the ceiling. This time, point your toes and then elongate as if you could get even longer in that left leg as you eventually bring your left leg all the way down to the ground. Nice. Okay, once the left leg finds the ground, left palm presses down to the floor. Right hand finds the nape of your neck to support the weight of your head. Take an inhale. As you exhale, right elbow towards your left knee for the crunch. Nice. Inhale, extend, option to hover. Exhale, contract. Inhale, extend. 3 more. Use your whole exhale to pull in. Whole inhale to extend. 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. Last one here. Exhale, contract. Nice. Inhale, extend, head to the floor, leg to the floor, and then take both of your legs long, both of your arms reach up and overhead. As you feel ready, walk your feet to the lower left. Sits bones stay connected. Walk your arms to the upper left, shoulder stays connected. So this time we're moving into the right side body. Deep breath in. And out. Inhale. And exhale. And 2 more cycles here. Once you finish your next exhalation, take your time once more, bringing your spine to neutral. Feet will reach nice and wide. Arms will reach wide. Take a full breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, option to let it go with a big sigh. And slide your arms down by your sides, bend into one knee and then the other. And then take your time as you push your feet down, roll over, so eventually you can find hands and knees. We're not going to stay here for too long. Once you find it, walk your palms forward, tuck your toes underneath. Right away, we're going to head up and back to downward facing dog. And take a moment or two to pedal or sway. And then when you feel ready, start to walk yourself to the front of your mat, Uttanasana. Inhale to a half lift. Walk your hands to your hips, bend to your knees, press down, rise tall, Tadasana. Nice. Let's step back with the right foot first. So you can take your right foot all the way to the back of your mat. And then pivot your heel down and take your time as you move into your warrior 2 stance. So right foot back at about 45, left heel either lining up with your arch or your right heel. And then when you're ready, take your arms open towards your warrior two stance. Yes. Full breath in. As you exhale, bring your left forearm to your thigh, take your right arm up and over. So really reaching on that diagonal for extended side angle. And then push down into that base arm so that we're not collapsing into the shoulder. There's strength there. See if you can imagine that bottom rib kind of contracting to help, or excuse me, the top rib contracting a little bit to open up. Take a full breath in. Gaze can be down, forward, or up. Breath out. 2 more. Inhale. Nice. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. If your gaze is up, turn your gaze down. Reach from your right fingertips all the way up to warrior two. Straighten your front leg. And then hinge forward, coming towards your Trikonasana triangle pose. So same concept here. Those back ribs, you want to imagine your back, your bottom rib, and your hip kind of contracting so that you've got strength in that top rib cage to kind of elongate the bottom rib cage. Big breath in. And out. 2 more. Inhale. Nice. Exhale. 1 more breath in. Again, if your gaze is up, shift your gaze down, bend to your front knee, reach all the way forward and up, reverse your warrior, 1 breath in, and then exhale, come back to warrior two. Straighten your front leg, hands to your hips, pivot on your toes so you're facing the opposite direction. Right toes in front, back heel about 45 degrees, and then bend in and reach out to warrior two once you've got your stance. Take a moment to establish your foundation. As you're ready, take your right forearm to your thigh, left arm reaches and hovers over your ear. So you're creating one long line of energy from your heel to your knee, to your hip, to your shoulder, to your fingers. Nice. Deep breath in. And out. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more full breath in. As you exhale, gaze down, press down strong, rise up, warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Activate your feet by pressing down. Maybe you imagine your feet pull towards each other and then start to head towards your Trikonasana. Full breath in through your nose. Nice. And out. Inhale. Exhale. And twice more. As you exhale, shift your gaze down. If it was up, bend into your front knee, push down strongly through your front foot 1 time up in reverse. And exhale back to warrior two. Straighten through your front leg, hands to your hips, pivot towards the front of your mat. And then heel toe your back foot in a little bit. Take as many steps as you'd like to reach the front, Tadasana mountain pose. Heel toe your feet together, bend into your knees, Utkatasana chair pose. And then hands can find your heart. Take your right elbow to the outside line of your left thigh for a twisted chair. Big breath in, nice. And out. 1 more inhale. And exhale. As you inhale, unravel, come back to chair. Keep going, press to your feet, extend your arms, extend your legs. 1 breath to extend. And then exhale, come back to your chair pose, hands at heart center. As you're ready, this time, left elbow to the outside line of your right thigh. Hips press back, crown reaches forward, rotate your heart space over to the right. Full breath in. Full breath out.
One more. Again, as you inhale, come back to your chair. Push to your feet, reach all the way up. Release your hands to your low back, elbows draw in, heart lifts up, and then heel toe your feet back to about hip width distance. One more breath in. As you exhale, bend into your knees, trace the back lines of your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, fold. Step one foot back, then the other. Drop down to hands and knees, and then shift your weight forward and lower all the way down onto your belly. Untuck your toes, draw your elbows in, lift up for your baby cobra, and exhale, forehead down. Twice more here, inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Last one, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Moving into the shoulders for just a moment here. Take your your left arm forward. Slide your right arm underneath you so your bicep is above the breast tissue. Palm will face up. And then you can rest your forehead down onto the floor or a block. Soften through your glutes. So this is going to be a lot in the probably backside of the right shoulder into the rotator cuff. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. 3 more. Press down into your left hand so that you can press yourself up, unravel your right arm, and then take your right arm forward as you thread your left arm underneath. Again, palm will face up, bicep is above the breast tissue, and then drop your forehead towards the floor, a block, a blanket, and breathe. Once more, you can slide your right hand back, press up just enough so you can unravel, and then come back down onto the floor. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders, elbows towards your rib cage, tuck your toes, and a couple options here. We're going to head towards our 2 minutes of organic movement. So you might choose to roll over onto your back, do work from the floor. From this prone position, you might choose to press up to a tabletop and do work from a seated position. So I'll keep track of time. Take your time to explore. And once we hit the halfway mark, I'll let you know so that you can transition. If you haven't already started to switch to the opposite side, if you're doing asymmetrical work, you can do so. And we're closing out our second minute. Invitation to either find your way towards the floor for a reclined position of rest in Shavasana, constructive rest. You might also choose to stay seated in a seated meditation. Invitation to once more close your eyes or soften your gaze. We'll allow these next few moments of integration and rest. Wherever you are, slowly start to bring awareness back into your breath. As your breath moves through you, bring awareness into your physical body. As you feel ready, you can start to find movement and eventually allowing that movement to bring you to an upright seat, however you would like to arrive there. As you arrive, invitation once more to connect your palms towards one another and dropping your head down gently. A moment of gratitude for all that our practice has to offer us in terms of space, awareness, sensation, connection. So thank you for making time in your day to explore, to experience, and as always, to share. Namaste.